Have you ever had one of those moments where reality felt slightly bendable? Not in a dramatic sci fi way, more like the universe blinked for half a second and you caught it mid glitch. Maybe you were thinking about an old friend you hadn't spoken to in years, really thinking about them, and then your phone buzzed. Guess who? Or maybe you bought a very specific car, let's say a dusty teal Subaru. And suddenly you saw that exact car everywhere, like the world had secretly been driving it all along. These moments make you pause. Not panic, just tilt your head like a curious dog hearing a strange sound. We call them glitches in the matrix. But here's the big question. Are these just quirks of our brain or tiny cracks in reality itself? Today we're going to walk that line together between psychology, philosophy, and the delicious weirdness of being human in a world that often feels stranger than fiction. Let me start with a story you might have seen online. There was a viral video of two women who showed up to the same wedding wearing the exact same vintage dress. Not a brand dress, not fast fashion, a one-of-a-kind thrifted piece from completely different states. They didn't know each other, never met, never shopped at the same store. Yet there they were, mirror images in a sea of normal outfits, laughing in disbelief like the universe had copy-pasted them. Or take this one, a man who lost his wedding ring in the ocean while surfing. Months later, another diver found it miles away, engraved with his name, and returned it to him. Now your rational brain says, well, statistically possible, but your gut says that feels intentional. Even I've had my own glitch moment. Years ago, I misplaced a meaningful necklace, searched everywhere, tore apart drawers, even accused the laundry machine of swallowing it whole. It was gone. Months later, I opened a book I hadn't touched in years, and there it was, tucked neatly between two pages. I never put jewelry in books, and yet there it was. Like reality quietly nudged me and said, "Here, you missed this." So what actually counts as a glitch in the matrix? It's not just coincidence. It's when the coincidence feels emotionally charged, personally meaningful, or logically improbable. It's the kind of moment that doesn't just surprise you, it shakes your sense of how reality works. Now let's pull back the curtain a little. Your brain's not a truth detector, it's a pattern generator. It evolved to find meaning in chaos because that kept our ancestors alive. Rustle in the bushes, assume it's a tiger, not the wind. Better safe than eaten. So today, that same brain sees patterns everywhere, even when none exist. This is where confirmation bias sneaks in. If you start thinking the universe is sending me signs, suddenly everything looks like a sign. The license plate, the song on the radio, the stranger's t-shirt. Your brain highlights what fits your story and quietly ignores what doesn't. Then there's the Baader-Meinhof Phenomenon, also called frequency illusion. Once you learn a new word, buy a new car, or notice a specific symbol, suddenly it feels like it's everywhere. Not because reality changed, but because your attention did. It's like buying a yellow jacket and then thinking, wow, everyone owns a yellow jacket now. No, you just see it differently. Psychology explains a lot, but does it explain everything? Here's where things get fascinating. Some thinkers argue that these glitches could actually be signs we're living in a simulation, like tiny coding hiccups in a massive digital universe, a misplaced object reappearing, two identical strangers crossing paths, events syncing in eerie, impossible ways. If reality is a simulation, these moments might be its version of buffering or lag. Others point to the multiverse theory, that infinite realities exist side by side. Maybe your glitch is really just your consciousness brushing up against another version of reality, where things played out slightly differently. But my favorite lens is Carl Jung's idea of synchronicity. Jung believed that some coincidences aren't random, they're meaningful, not in a magical fairy way, but in a deeply psychological and almost spiritual way. It's like the universe speaks in symbols, and sometimes your inner world lines up perfectly with the outer one. When that happens, reality doesn't feel broken, it feels alive. So, what are glitches in the Matrix? Are they just your brain doing what brains do best, finding patterns, connecting dots, weaving stories? Or are they tiny windows into a deeper, stranger, more interconnected reality? Maybe the truth is both. Maybe our minds shape reality and reality shapes our minds, dancing together in a feedback loop we're only beginning to understand. But here's the question I'll leave you with. If reality really is designed, what role are you playing in it? And if it isn't, why do these moments still feel so meaningful? Drop your wildest glitch in the Matrix story in the comments below. I want to read them all, because together we might just map the edges of reality itself. And until next time, my little cherubs, Meemaw's always rooting for you.